Hello, wherever you are, and welcome to Craze TV 254, your best football YouTube channel where we bring you football analysis, prediction, and also commentary. I'm your host, Christian Touma, and today I'm in company of Vitalis Marubu. Welcome, Vitalis.
Yeah, thank you.
And today we shall be looking at one of the greatest football fixtures in the football history. Liverpool taking on Manchester City in the Anfield Stadium. Of course, Guardiola head-to-head with Jurgen Klopp. So the two teams, Vitalis, they have met in the last 5 matches. Man City have won one time. Liverpool have also won once, and 3 of the times they has ended in a draw. So, what do you think can happen in this Sunday fixture?
Yeah, it's a terrific fixture. We expect something entertaining, something great. We expect goals and a great and very entertaining match. The future is unpredictable, but we can only hope. Yeah.
So Manchester City is alongside Barcelona, Real Madrid and PSG, who are still unbeaten in the top 5 leagues of Europe, and they are facing the struggling Liverpool. So do you think it will be an easier game for Manchester City in Anfield?
We cannot undermine Liverpool, though their form has taken a bit of a dip and a bit of a dive. They're a bit sloppy, they're a bit horrific, they're a bit tremendous, but we will see. We can see that Manchester City is terrific. They're putting on great. They're thrashing. They're beating teams.
Dismantling.
In my local dialect, we say that on a piga kuoa. Yeah. They're dismantling them. They will be unhandling them. Yeah. So anything can happen.
With the absence of Luis Diaz and the current form of Firmino, what should you expect from the Liverpool side?
Okay, Luis Diaz is a creative left winger. He cuts in, he finesses, he scores, and he's very agile. He dribbles, he knows how to time his runs. Again, Bobby, so his absence will be a bit of a negative for Liverpool, but they have Bobby Firmino, whom we have seen has put crazy and good performances. He has been terrific of late. He has been scoring goals. So I expect him to challenge Ederson in the Manchester City defense. But that doesn't mean that Manchester City won't win.
All right, you just talked of goals, and when we talk of goals this season, we can't forget the name Erling Haaland, in Norway called Holland. So at the age of 22, Lionel Messi had 92 goals, Cristiano Ronaldo had 62 goals, Erling Haaland at the age of 22, when he celebrated his 22nd birthday, he had 155 goals. Will he go beyond the level that Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo reached?
Yeah, Erling Haaland is another properly defined striker, number 9, as they call it. He's that person who is offensive minded. He knows how to pick up his runs. He's well positioned in the pockets. He's well aware of his goalkeeper, his post. He knows where to put the ball, and he has great people, the likes of Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, who will tee up great passes to him. Yeah, he will outscore the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo. He will break his record in the EPL. He will break big records. That is only if he's disciplined and doesn't let pride, show off, girls take over his career. If he lets that happen, then he will get in a bit of a deep and a dive. Yeah.
So still in Erling Haaland, this season he has a total of 15 goals. The second in Premier League is Harry Kane with 8 goals.
7 goals away from
7
years top scorer.
Imagine, and we haven't even reached halfway the season. So in the midweek he was rested in the Champions League match. Do you think he's coming hungry and also angry, ready to score goals in this big fixture?
He's a goal machine. That is his purpose. I expect him to score, and he will be hungry for more. He will be hungry to build his name. He will be hungry to make his father Alfie Holland happy. So I'm expecting him to score, because this is a big match where anything can go wrong at any moment. And if he punishes Liverpool to a great extent, he will be recognized, he will be respected. So he's going for recognition and respect. Yeah.
So this season, as I said, he has scored 15 goals in 9 appearances, and he only has a one penalty goal on his name. So do you see him breaking the Cristiano Ronaldo 37 goals record in a single season?
Why not? Why not? He might even double it. Doubling it may be a miracle, but he will break his record.
Yeah.
You know, these days it's so obvious that Haaland will score. If he doesn't score, the whole world is perplexed. They're left wondering why he didn't score. Yeah.
So back to Liverpool side, we've talked of Haaland in the Manchester City side. Mohamed Salah has been always a thorn in the City flesh whenever they met. Yeah. And he has been scoring them brilliant goals. There's one he danced in the defense, the all defense. There's one, the one he scored far away, around 40 yards away from the goal, with an error from Ederson. Do you think he'll still be a threat when Liverpool faces Man City this weekend?
The Mohamed Salah of this season has been a bit quiet. Has not been the boy that we knew. Save yesterday's performance when they faced Rangers, where he scored a hat trick when he was brought on. I think that this is not the Salah that we used to know. Yeah. If he comes motivated from the Rangers' performance, he might put on a display, but he will be facing the likes of not Luis Diaz, but Ruben Diaz, the likes of João Cancelo. Yeah, it might be challenging. They might keep him quiet. Yeah.
You just mentioned his outstanding performance against Rangers with a hat-trick. So do you think this is the motivation factor when he meets Manchester City?
It might be a motivation factor, but Manchester City is Manchester City. Manchester City is no Rangers. Manchester City is an elite an elite top-level English club.
So even the 7-1 statement to Manchester City, do you mean it is nothing to Manchester City?
Yeah, that's maybe a grain of salt from a packet of salt. It's maybe like some teaspoon of water from the sea. Manchester City is Manchester City. Pep Guardiola is a tactical genius. He has the machines that he needs to demolish Liverpool. Yeah.
So just you mentioned of Guardiola. I'll move on to Jurgen Klopp. I think he has won almost all trophies at Liverpool, like the UEFA Champions League, the Premier League. Do you think because of his underperforming in this season, he needs to be sacked?
He doesn't need to be sacked, but he ought to be sacked. Because
he should be sacked.
Yeah. Because this is a business franchise, and again, this is football relating to millions of fans, not only Jurgen Klopp and his backroom staff and the coaching staff and his other staff. It's not only him. So this is a business franchise. You know, the sales and a lot of things take a big dive and a big dip when a team is underperforming. A team of the like and caliber of Liverpool, they have their winning culture. They expect him to contend for titles. So if he doesn't perform with the quality that he has, then maybe he is the problem, and maybe it's time that they let him go.
So do you think the Liverpool boss should follow whatever the former Chelsea boss used to do? If you don't perform, you are sacked. And because of that, Abramovich won everything with Chelsea, and Chelsea was successful under him. So, or should Liverpool adopt the former philosophy at Arsenal and Manchester United, whereby they had patience with their coaches? These are Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger.
You've talked of Arsene Wenger, you've talked of Sir Alex Ferguson, and when you look at the culture of football 20 years ago, it's very different from the culture of football right now. Because that time it was not more of money, it was more of the determination that you have towards the club, the love, the zeal that you have towards the club. It was more of the respect to the club. But these days it's more of money. And when you look at the goats, the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger, you look at the results that they brought to the club. You see, Arsene Wenger finished a season without a single loss.
That is in 2003.
They were the invincibles.
Season.
Yeah.
With 26 wins and 12 draws without a single defeat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When you look at Arsene Wenger was Arsene Wenger and Sir Alex Ferguson. Do you know that actually, so that you can acquire the title Sir, you need to be recognized by the state? For him to be called Sir Alex Ferguson, he needs to be the GOAT. So these are the great examples of great coaches and GOAT coaches.
So still with managers, Guardiola has won 4 Premier League trophies in 5 seasons with Manchester City, but he still seems to be like a stressed man because he has not won Champions League with Manchester City. So do you think he is unsuccessful at Manchester City, given the fact that he has not won for them UEFA Champions League?
We cannot call him unsuccessful, but I understand that Pep is a very ambitious man. Yeah. He has his goals. You know, the UEFA Cup comes with its own respects. Manchester City, they have no UEFA Cup. The club, the whole club, and maybe when you look at the Sheikh Mansour, he might pressure him to deliver. He might pressure him to bring it to the Etihad Stadium, but we cannot consider him as a failure. But there's a conspiracy theory going around the social media and everywhere. They say that he has the Yaya Toure curse. Sure. So if he doesn't win the Champions League this season, I too might believe that he's cursed.
So still under there. This man, Jurgen Klopp.
Again, they say that the 7th year of his reign in every club is shambolic. Look at his 7th year in BVB. They never qualified for the Champions League. 7th year at Mainz, he was relegated. So this is his 7th year in Manchester City. What do you expect? Maybe.
But they are performing well in the domestic league. They're performing well in the domestic league. And just between Klopp and Guardiola, do you think Klopp has done much better than Guardiola, given the fact that Klopp has already won a Champions League trophy with Liverpool, and Liverpool have won just 5 Champions League as compared to Manchester City, who have never won this trophy?
Actually, I made a mistake, and my director is telling me it's not Pep Guardiola, it's Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, he might fail. Because look at the season. This season, it's a very competitive one. There's Arsenal, there's Tottenham, there's Manchester City, Chelsea, the likes of Crystal Palace, Brighton. Jurgen Klopp this season, he might fail to qualify for the Champions League. They might be beaten. We don't know. We will look at it.
So away from the managerial profile, back now to the midfield. In Liverpool, we have this sensational player, Thiago Alcantara, who has been away on injury and he's back. Is this a big boost to Liverpool side, given the fact that Thiago Alcantara is a player with good vision? He can score goals, he can create those chances, he can deliver those deadly through passes to the strikers.
Thiago is another. He's a creative midfielder who can be able to dribble and escape pressure. When you look at the system that Manchester City uses, it's a system where they push the opposing side. They play their football in the opposing side too much. They play in their opponent's half majorly, and they pressure them. So Thiago Alcantara is this player who brings the dribbling profile. He brings the profile of that player who is able to escape pressure and break and break through the midfield. So it's a big boost ahead of the game. Yeah.
So his opposite number in Manchester City, a brilliant player, Kevin De Bruyne. He has already 9 assists, Premier League assists, in the 9 appearances this season, without actually 2 assists in the UEFA Champions League. Do you think there'll be any player who will block Kevin De Bruyne from delivering those deadly passes to the goal machine, Erling Haaland?
At the likes of Fabinho and Henderson, they might try to block him, but Kevin is an amazing talent, and he tees up passes that they're just great. You know, this guy he will deliver, he will serve it for you on a silver plate and tell you, unataka nikuwekee kwa mguu gani, which is a strong foot. When you look at his crosses and his passes, the guy, I just don't understand. The guy is just like ule mse fulani achezi FIFA, lakini anaona through. As in, this guy, it's like he has the whole pitch in his brain. He understands where to put in the pass. He understands where to. Kevin is a sensational player.
And by the way, at Manchester City, he has reached 92 Premier League assists out of 212 Premier League appearances. He's only 1 assist shy of David Silva, who is also a former Manchester City player and also, we can say, a legend. Do you think he's going to put his own record when it comes to assists?
He will, definitely.
All right. Then
the question you should have asked, do you think that he will? No, it's when. It's a matter of when will he break it, but of course he will.
All right. Away from that, Manchester City are thrashing, dismantling, humiliating, and hammering their opponents this season. Then Liverpool are having tough times this season. But remember, they are playing in Anfield. This same Anfield, this same Liverpool, in 2019, the year they clinched their 5th UEFA Champions League trophy, they beat Barcelona. 4-0, having lost 3-0 in Camp Nou. And remember, this Liverpool side never had at that time Mane, Salah and Firmino. They were not involved in that game because of injuries. So do you think the Anfield atmosphere will be a motivation to Liverpool when they face Manchester City, even despite the fact that they're struggling?
You're talking about the added home advantage, that this is Anfield and anything can happen. True, Anfield is another amphitheater and anything can happen in Anfield. But this is Manchester City. This is Pep Guardiola. This is Erling Haaland. So I do not expect any different result than a loss at Anfield from Liverpool. If they win, they will surprise me.
So Man City, they're just on their own level. So do you think they'll finish the season invincible without a loss? Being inspired with Arsenal, who did that in 2003, 2004 by finishing the season unbeaten, having won 26 matches, drawn 12 and lost 0.
Again, when we were talking about the football culture, football has evolved. I don't think that they will finish invincible this season, but cause why I don't think that they will, because you see, EPL, you might look at a team and see that this team is an underdog. Look at the UEFA final. Chelsea were the underdogs, but they only needed one moment, one counter, and one brilliant player to make them win. So this time, it might also be the same. A team like Brighton, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, actually, they had beaten them 2-0, where they came back at the 60th minute to win the game 4-2. So this time, you may find a team which is an underdog, and they will come, defend, attack once, score once, a 90th minute goal, then it's over for them.
So do you think they will perform the same? They'll dominate the same in the UEFA Champions League, given the fact that they have that quality of Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri in the midfield, the likes of Bernardo, Foden up front, Riyad Mahrez, Ilkay Gundogan. Do you think they'll dominate also in Champions League?
Yeah, they might dominate. But UEFA, it's another competition too. It has its own culture, and absolutely any team can win it. We saw the likes of Benfica coming up against a very strong Paris Saint-Germain side, and they managed 2 draws. And actually, they were supposed to batter PSG, only that Gianluigi Donnarumma was a bit strong in the goalkeeping position. So they may win it, and they might also lose it. This is the Champions League.
All right, back to Liverpool. In the recent fixtures, Liverpool have, even the games they have won, they have conceded fast, and it has been a defensive problem to Liverpool, given the fact that most of them, the likes of Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, are more offensive than defensive. Do you think Liverpool should add more defenders to solidify the defense era they are making?
Yeah, they might sign somebody, though I have nobody in my mind. Yeah, they might sign somebody. You look at a player called Josko Graviol from Leipzig. Yeah. He's a strong centre half. He's a big guy. And the likes of Van Dijk, they need to improve. They need to come back. They need to defend well. And the likes of Trent, they need to defend. They need to stop being focused much on being offensive. You look, you take this assumption, not assumption. You look at a team like Manchester City. If you're too aggressive on the offensive front, then you're a bit weak on the defensive front. And if you're weak against if you're weak defensively against Manchester City, they will absolutely hammer you. They will absolutely dismantle you.
So these two teams, they are more offensive than defensive. And should we expect more goals in this game?
From Manchester City, yes.
How about Liverpool?
Liverpool, nope.
So maybe just to conclude, what is your prediction in this fixture?
Holland to score. Firmino to score. Yao Cancelo akienda nyumbani atatoa Salah kwa mfuko pamoja na funguo zake, and Manchester City to win.
So his prediction is a win to Manchester City, but mine is a bit contrary to him, and I refute his prediction, because this is Anfield, and with the Anfield atmosphere, we expect anything and something which is just positive from the Liverpool side. So I go for a Liverpool win. So Vitalis, maybe just to conclude, where can you be found in the social media platforms?
IG, TikTok, Marubu_V. Hizo ndizo peke yake niko. FB siko.
So it has been actually a pleasure having you with me on this analysis of the biggest match this weekend, super weekend in Premier League. Of course, there is also El Clasico, super weekend in Spanish football, where Real Madrid hosts the Spanish giants Barcelona. So it has been a pleasure having you with us. Until next time, good.